Hi everybody and welcome back. Now we're moving into a new section and that section is entitled Lists. But before we jump into lists, let's talk about a new concept for a few moments. And that concept is data structures. A data structure is a collection of data elements, such as numbers or characters that are structured in some way, such as by numbering them. The most basic data structure in Python is a sequence. Each element of a sequence is assigned a number, its position or index, as we've already discussed. The first index starts at 0, the second index is 1, and so on and so on. So let's just take a moment to talk about how numbers work once again in Python. When you count things, you most likely start counting at 1. In Python and many other programming languages, it's slightly different. You start counting at 0. One of the reasons for starting at 0, as we've already discussed, is because you can also count backwards. Python has 6 built-in types of sequences. This section concentrates on one of the most common, and that is lists. Lists are one of Python's most powerful features and one of my favourite. So what exactly is a list? Well, as we've already said, it's a collection of items in a particular order. The items in a list are called elements. You can make a list containing anything you want. Months of the year, family names, numbers, absolutely anything. Because you will usually store more than one element in your list, it's a good idea when naming them to make the names plural, such as months, names, etc. When creating a list, you start with the name of the list. So let's jump back into our code editor now and have a look. So as I've just said, when creating a list, you start with the names of the list. Months equals. You then start and end your list with square brackets. So let's open our square brackets and as we see, close our square brackets. Individual elements of your list start and end with a single quote. So let's put in a month here and let's go with January. So as you can see, we start and we close with single quotes. When you add additional elements to your list, they are separated by a comma. Again, open and closing single quotes. Let's add another month. And another. And actually here I have left out a closing quote and we put that in. And as you can see, our code editor has changed the font color of April. Now let's ask Python to print out our list of months. And as we have down the bottom left hand corner, we can see our list of months: January, February, March, April. Now it's not very user friendly. As we've already discussed, elements in a list are numbered from 0 upwards. This means that you can access each element individually like this. So let's have a look at another print statement and we go print months. And because we're trying to access an element of a list, we open with square brackets and we close with square brackets. And we'll call the first element in our list, which was January, and it's at position 0. Now again, let's print this. And as you can see in the bottom left, the next line printed out is January. Not too bad. So that's a little bit more user friendly. What about capitalizing the first letter of the month? Well, we can use what we did previously when trying to capitalize strings. So let's edit this line, edit our code again, and let's go print months. And again, we're accessing element 0, open and closing square brackets, dot title. And as always, open and closing brackets. Now let's print this out. And again, we have a new line here, and it's January with a capital J. Now that's nice. Now we have the first element in our list printed cleanly and capitalized. How about accessing more than one element from our list? To do that, we can repeat our print statement. Print months. And we want to access now the second element in our list, which is at position 1. And again, we want to capitalize it. Let's print this and see how it looks. There we go, January, February. And you can do that for all the elements in your list. Later on, we'll look about doing this with one statement, but for now, this is how we're going to do it. Okay, so let's use what we've learned so far by taking one element from our list and outputting it in a message. So let's clear off what we have here. So let's get rid of this here, but leave your list of months in place. So our message equals, open and closing double quotes, I was born in, leave a space, we close our double quotes, we can add in a plus symbol for concatenation, and we're adding in months, and we're putting in position 3. So I was born in April. And we want to capitalize April when it outputs to our screen. And then we want to add in a full stop. Dot. I want to use double quotes there. Dot. Now, let's have a look at that. Print message. And there we go, bottom left hand corner, I was born in April. Very, very nice. So as you can see, lists can become a very, very powerful feature. And it doesn't matter to Python if you have 1, 5, 10 or a million elements within your list. It can still store the same information and run the same programs on the lists. In the next lecture, we'll look at changing, adding and removing elements from our lists. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next lecture.